Okay, a couple of things before we start officially. Yeah, yesterday I don't know what was going on with my computer yesterday. Okay, that was weird. Okay, I don't know what was going on with my computer yesterday. It seems my computer just didn't want to work. I'm gonna see if I'm live. Yeah, okay, I'm live. No idea what was going on with my computer yesterday. Just didn't want to work. But now it's working. Everything should be great. Number two, watch Beetlejuice, the first one. It's really good. I'm currently just started watching the second one as I was setting up. I like it so far. I'll tell you what I think about it tomorrow. And I am, PS Vita again. Get one. It's really good. They're cheap, kind of cheap comparatively, I guess. But I really like it. Got back touch screen. Got back touch screen that used for Uncharted, and it uses the light to reveal certain things. It's really cool. I like it. I don't know why they stopped making it. Well, they stopped. They didn't support it correctly. I ended up selling mine for money years ago, and then I regret it because I had Borderlands 2, a whole Uncharted, a bunch of different games. They've dedicated. Well, Borderlands 2 was a little bit of downgrade, but not that much as I could tell. It was great. Get it? Let's go. Enough preamble.
Behavior that you're engaging in isn't bad. Why aren't you just speaking plainly and calling it what it is rather than these nice sounding?
Exactly. Like it. If you need to be told this, for one, if you're bad for you, or you just may be a child, but if someone is talking to you with all this flowery fucking language, just cut through the bullshit, or don't listen to them. You trust people who talk plainly,
Pleasantries and innuendos and making it sound not so bad to cover it up. Many, many men have mastered the impossible art of not tripping and falling into vagina.
Although I can believe that Justin Wallace thinks that's how men are, Oh, it just we don't do it on purpose, you hit a screw on the ground, your dick flops out. Wasn't that a porno? Oh, like I believe that was a porno where stepbrother, my stepsister, my dick just fell in, or something like that. I believe it was.
That don't belong to their wives. Only one of these two people in this conversation have unrealistic expectations and a warped view of the world, and it's not her. She seems pretty sure that cheating is a deal breaker for her. It is for many women. I don't know why this is so difficult for you to believe that people with standards exist, Justin. Actually, I do know. It's because you've never met anybody with standards before. I bet they stay far away from you. Yeah, I would apologize, but look how he poses in every photo that I've seen him in. Yes, I did my research, and I have concluded that Justin Waller will never love a woman as much as he loves his watch. What kind of women? Concluded that Justin Waller will never love a woman as much.
See, there's a lot of people out there that use watches, style pieces, and uses them to genuinely take the time. But I personally don't like watches because even if I wanted to go style myself, I wouldn't. I'd feel like it'd be a waste of money. I would always just want to check out my phone, or maybe when I join the military, I'm definitely gonna get one because I'm gonna need it. But other than that, I don't like watches.
as much as he loves his watch. What kind of women are you attracting, leading with that? I'm not surprised you're so insecure. This is clearly your main mating strategy.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just telling you that your opinion might change in time.
Ladies, if a guy speaks to you like this, and look, I know Mr. Waller's tone is calm and he sounds respectful, but he is actually being incredibly rude right now. These are what we call
that's a creepy way to say it too. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but your opinion may change in time. You could say it. You could say it a lot differently. You could say it like this. Well, let me try to convince you. Or what do you think about this? You know, you say it's a lot less creepier than that. You know, like you're gonna fucking kidnap them and hide them in your basement and like brainwash them.
Bad manners, and we don't like those. If he uses phrases like, I'm telling you your opinion might change when you meet a man, and he's using all this kind of language like telling you how it's going to be in the context of trying to get you to accept terrible behaviors, or something that will only benefit him while steamrolling how you feel or any reservations you may have.
It would be interesting to know how he grew up. He probably grew up rich, right? He grew up rich. Justin Waller grew up rich. Let me find out. Justin is an internet personality. You knew that. Parents. Who is the mother of Justin Waller? There's not much about his parents. Oh, my son lied to you. Just in the interview with Justin Waller's mother. Or that will be interesting to check out after we're done with the video. There's a link here. And continuous. This will be interesting to continue. Skip. No, I don't need all the bullshit. Fine, I'll pick one. Okay, I thought it would make me leave the thing. Okay, we're gonna look at the interview after we're done with this video. In a couple days, I guess. Well, 3 days.
Calmly stand and make a graceful exit. He's watched too much Tate and now thinks he's some kind of woman snake charmer and believes if he tells you something with enough conviction, he will strong-arm you into doing it and magic mind-boggle you into going along with it. Think I'm looking too deeply into what Justin is saying here? I will remind you, again, this is the same man who went on a dating show and gave men the advice that when they're having sex with their girlfriend, that's when she's, quote, at her most vulnerable, and therefore that's when you should mentally manipulate her into getting what you want because that's when she's, quote...
How do you get away with saying that on a game show anyway? He said this stuff around so many men. This is probably why a lot of women think most men are like this, you know? Because Justin Waller just goes around on podcasts and all this shit, you know, entertaining all of them, says all this kind of shit, and all men either agree or they don't say anything whether they disagree or not, you know? So your only assumption is that they do agree, and it's like, what the fuck? There are good men out there, okay, that don't listen to this, okay?
Programmable.
I'm assuming it's a game show with an audience, right? Live audience. They usually have game shows. How I would like to see the reaction to the audience of that. The reaction of the audience when he says that, you know?
Forgive me if I'm not showing much charity for the possibility that these little verbal games he's playing with the girls in this podcast are just completely
He must have went to some kind of class to learn how to talk and say like this, right? Or else did he just learn this over time? Yeah, he probably just learned it over time because it's not as flowery as you would think you would learn it at school. So he probably just learned it
accidental, given his history
while just trying things over and over again.
Of advocating for mental and emotional manipulation. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he knows exactly what he's doing with his basic bitch psychological marketing tactics. Slow down, cowboy. Yeah, we've all heard of NLP.
They got all these single women out here talking shit about shit, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up?
Hello, it's
Here talking shit about shit, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up? They got all these single women out here talking.
Okay, for one, he obviously doesn't think it's shit. But just because women are talking about shit men doesn't mean they want to have babies. They just might be talking about shit men in general. And you can say the exact opposite about you. You know, why don't I turn your logic on you? You know? I mean, I don't want to impregnate you, but a woman could say the same thing to you. It's not, does he think he's saying profound things when he said this shit?
Talking shit about shit, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up?
hello, it's a different
So he agreed that there are shit men out there, right? Okay.
day. The more observant amongst you will have noticed that I am wearing a slightly different red top and was zoomed in because I am sick and couldn't be bothered to put my stockings on. So I'm wearing trackies. But no one has to see that.
I'm gonna have a bunch of kids. Yeah, I believe in having kids, man. So there's too many dumbass people having kids. Might as well have a smart person have some.
Okay, well, let's say for argument's sake that
I don't know what. I mean, yes, if you're smarter, you can provide better. Well, if you're smarter, you can raise your child better. But it all depends if you're ready or not. You know, it doesn't matter if you're smart or dumb comparatively. It all depends on how you raise your children and what values you determine they want to have.
that I'm not smart.
I would like him to develop that more.
So here's the thing about Justin Waller and his parenting advice. And before anyone comes in and say that it's not advice he's giving, I mean it is. He's giving arguments and justifications for why, that is the lifestyle is the right and proper way to do things, why it's beneficial for the children, why like all these things counts as advice, whether he wants to admit it or not. I don't know, maybe he does say that it's parenting advice, but let's assess. If he was just living his life, being a terrible father and an unfaithful dirtbag, would I care? Not really. It would have.
I care if you were doing that and putting it on the internet because other people are going to be listening to that and then taking that advice, obviously. But I think she would agree with me on this. But I would care anyway if he was spoiling children like he said he would. I don't think it's very good to spoil your children, and then kick them to the curb if they hate you in any way. That's awful. DCFS or whatever you would call on him in that state.
Absolutely nothing to do with me. I think it's scummy.
He probably lives in fucking Italy or wherever Andrew Tate loves because the laws are less harsh.
But I wouldn't make a video on it. If people want to live like that, go wild, be miserable, be degenerate, all while being completely hypocritical and accusing the left of that. But you do you, king. But where I do think his lifestyle deserves criticism, however, is in the fact that he promotes and advises it to men, tries to convince all women to be okay with it, says it's best for children, if you can believe that.
You see, that's where I don't understand. That's another big point I don't understand. How do you does he think when he's saying things? Because I wonder if did Justin grow up in a stable home with just, his mom and his dad loved each other and stuff like that, or was his dad or mom always cheating? Because that would make a lot of sense if he did. He grew up with that understanding, and he maybe thought that was just normal, But how old is Justin Waller? Justin Waller, Jesus Christ. It takes you to his, it's not like, when you go look up Dick Van Dyke or James Earl Jones, rip, by the way. They have this whole fucking thing. It gives him an age and all that stuff, but it pulls up at Twitter first. It's weird. You have to search specifically for it. Jesus Christ. Apparently he was a football player. He's 38. Okay. Nearly 40, right? He's nearly 40. There's no excuse anymore for this kind of behavior. But I don't. So you say this stuff. It's perfectly okay for the children to watch their parents, go out, hang out with other women or other men, and sleep around. And then that doesn't create any kind of conflict in their mind, any kind of insecurity. How don't you understand that would actually happen?
First of all, actually holds himself up as the standard of morality and claims to be a better person, a more dedicated father, and a more honest man than the guys who...
He can't be a dedicated as a father if he's just sleeping around all the fucking time.
Remained faithful to their wives and devoted time and attention to their children. And that I find truly outrageous, sir.
I'm gonna live in truth. Here's the difference between me and most men. Most men are doing this shit behind people's back, right? Like a fucking coward. And they're not even giving the family the life that they deserve. So
if you're
I mean, if you're sleeping around, nothing prevents you from giving the life. I mean, you could potentially give the life your family deserves, and they wouldn't know about it. They would eventually find out, but I guess you couldn't. I agree there. But if you're sleeping around, you can't give your family the life that they deserve. They would all be wondering where you are. But no. But what did you say exactly?
telling
like a fucking coward. The difference between me and most men. Most men are doing this shit behind people's back, right? Like a fucking coward. And they're not even giving the family.
So it's okay to just say, hey, hey, little Timmy, I love your mom, but, I'm going to go plow this other woman, right? I'm just going to grind her into the bed, Don't worry. I'll be thinking of Helen the whole fucking time. So I grab her head, push it down, and just ramming her deep in the ass. I'll make sure they're thinking of your mom. How did that make it any better? It makes it worse. Because they know at that point. At least you can make the argument that if you're hiding it, it's they don't know. At least you can make that argument.
family the life that they deserve. So
If you're telling young women like me that we should accept and be happy with that type of behavior and invite it not only into our lives, but into the lives of our future children, that we shouldn't expect a higher quality of behavior from men than the very low standard that you can offer, I'm sure there's nothing at all self-serving in you trying to convince women that it's unrealistic not to settle for this. I'm sure your motivations are entirely altruistic, Justin. If you're going to do that, in that case, then I am going to analyze your claims that you're such a good guy and a devoted father, and compare your lifestyle to all of these loser men that you so arrogantly claim to be better than. Is it good advice that we should listen to? Is it?
I think I'll be better than most fathers, regardless of how many children I have. I might have
There's
100.
no fucking competition, you know? You do the best you can do, and there are tons of different parenting styles. Again, she's not fucking listening. I think he may be listening, but she's off thinking about rainbows and unicorns with a Nazi hat on. Why is she wearing a Nazi hat? I'll be right back.
Let's see how you hold up as the bestest dad and most loving partner in America.
How do you think you're gonna get to the place of that marriage you want with that family? Family and that lifelong love that you just
I
talked
didn't
about.
say I didn't have family or children. I just
Oh,
said I
I
was running
see.
your business.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So,
So you want to keep it private, is what you're saying.
That's
Yeah.
what I
I
said.
understand.
Fuck. Fuck. Sorry.
You hold up as the
Sorry, I did it again. I almost forgot to turn off the. I'm eating onion rings. You should. Onion rings are good.
bestest dad and most loving partner in America.
How do you think you're gonna get to the place of that?
Okay, what I was saying. So she's probably thinking about sunshines and unicorns, all that stuff. And then it's Nazi helmet. I think better than other American helmets. I mean, just designed because of spike. If you like lose your knife, you can fight with it. I think more helmets need it. But look at him. You really finds her uncomfortable. Look at his stance, how he's sitting. If he wanted to engage with her, which he absolutely doesn't, he would be facing her. You know? He doesn't. Look at him.
Marriage you want with that family and that lifelong love that you just
I
talked
didn't
about.
say I didn't have family or children. I just
Oh,
said it
I
was none of
see.
your
Look how
business.
confrontational he is. What? Apparently that's Genesis 19.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So,
So you want to keep it private.
Oh. And she knows he is very. Look at him. He's so angry. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you a damn thing. You don't need to know anything I do. Okay. He's so fucking angry.
Private is what you're saying.
that's
Yeah.
what I
I
said.
understand.
Do you? Justin has
I
enemies.
might have multiple family.
Oh,
You never know. I might like family more than you. So much I have
Oh. I like to know what this guy thinks.
5.
Oh, look at her. She is like, she knows he's angry. I love it. I love it. Look at she's still not listening to a goddamn thing. But he is. I think he's thinking like, oh shit, this guy's so PO'd right now.
Do you think that's a good thing to have multiple families?
I think it's good if there's one dad and there's not a bunch of step parents involved, and the dad can be the hero in those 5 families.
That's like I said before. All he wants to be is the hero. He doesn't want to be there for when there are smaller moments. He just wants to swoop in and save everyone. You know, he doesn't. He think he wants to be the main character. You know, he wants all the attention. He doesn't care about anyone else but himself.
Families live a 10x better life than they would have otherwise. Yes, ma'am, I do.
How do you
And-
know? How do you quantify better? more money, yeah, going more places.
You would want that for your daughters.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always a victim. He's always a bum. The same manufacturer story part.
I live my life unapologetically on my terms. So if my daughters that are overly spoiled and educated in every way and have friends all over the world.
Okay, they're overly spoiled. Not spoiled, overly spoiled. And you made them that way, right?
World traveled in the best schools in the world. If they have a problem with me at the end of the day, then they can kick rocks too.
See,
Okay, you're gonna kick your family out because you fucked them up. That's fucking right. You're not gonna try and fix them. You're not gonna try and help them. You say one fucking thing to me, and you're fucking out. Wow, you have fucking all the love for your family, don't you? Just the best dad. Not gonna try and fix something that's struggling even a little bit.
see, I'm not a parent, but I don't think you have to be one to know that a very important part of parenting is putting your children first. And I'm afraid that this sounds like all you care about is you. You're not.
I mean, that's what my mom does. I mean, I love my mom. She wasn't able to take care of me as a kid. My grandma does, but she tried to visit me whenever she can. She searched me out. You know, she lives in Hawaii now, but I want to join the military. But she'd like, come live with me. It's cool. You know, she's offering me a place. You know, that's what parents are supposed to do. Take you in when you want to move out, you know? That's that good shit, parents. And, you know, I wonder what Parenter's situation was like. And we will find out.
You're not really talking here about how this will affect the children because that doesn't seem to matter to you. In fact, actually, Justin, you said they can, quote, kick rocks if your behavior as their father upsets them or has long-lasting impacts on them. Wow.
Just a little bit there's a little bit of not being comfortable enough. And they get the fuck out, right?
You do, however, care about your own feelings, emphasizing the importance of you being the hero in their eyes. I'm yet again going to draw this comparison until some aspects of the manosphere finally get it. Can you imagine if a feminist said something similar along those lines in regards to her as a mother? Like, you would all be condemning her as a terrible, selfish, degenerate, modern woman and a failed mother who's just obsessed with herself. We all know this.
Oh my God, I would like to perform some type of psyop on Justin right now. You know, I would like to, you know, go in there, call myself a leftist, and like say the stuff exactly what he's saying and see if he disagrees or not. You know, and obviously, you know, wear like a dress or some shit like that. Really, really try and make it look like that way, like I'm a leftist, or, you know, far left, you know. I wonder what his reaction would be. I would love to do that.
That's what you'd be doing. See, this is my problem with the manosphere. Can we keep the standards consistent? But so is anyone still unconvinced that this isn't just an infantile display of pseudo-masculinity to serve your own ego? Sacrificing the well-being of your own children just so, quote, dad can be the hero. See, it's good. It's actually good if there's multiple families, you see. Not for the well-being of those families, but so Jazzy Justin has even more little worshippers to put him on a pedestal. Speaking of, we'll get to his vanity later because there's a lot of it. But, you know, children aren't props to make you feel like a hero. If that's why you're having children, you shouldn't have them. There's a word for
Yeah, I believe, in fact, as soon as you have children, it's not about you anymore. You know, it's about them. You know, I'm not saying don't have dreams if you have children, but, you know, try and scale it back maybe, you know?
for this. We know what this is. Isn't this what you call a weekend dad? What everything Justin is explaining and talking about here, but somehow trying to rebrand it as like noble.
Except it's not the weekend dad ideas, you know, with the stepdad, and then, you know, the real dad comes on, brings in a whole bunch of nice shit, right? But even in that situation, there wouldn't be a stepdad. There would just be a mom raising a kid by itself, and occasionally Justin would come along and bring a car by. You know, that would be the situation.
Useless swoops in on occasions to feel important and doesn't actually offer support or discipline or is there when it matters. The fun parent who actually hardly does anything.
Wait.
It's a Peter Pan infantile state. He enjoys being the fun parent and providing money and things and getting to be the hero, but not actually doing the hard stuff. That's not a good father. Sorry. I don't think anyway. How much time can you realistically have to devote to your children when you are running a business, having frequent affairs, and also have 5 families? Like, it's one thing for children having to come to terms with an absent father who's away so much because he's working to provide.
And remember, all of the infidelities, they're apparently open. He tells everybody about them too. Which I don't know why he would care about keeping stuff secret if he's so open about it, as he says he is, you know?
For them, but you know, that they can right. That's noble and honorable. He's doing that for us. That's one thing. It's another thing entirely for a kid to know that your dad is away all the time because he's screwing random women he picked up at a bar with Tristan Tate, and clearly prefers their company to you.
If it's even a bar, it may be some stripper or some prostitute. That's even worse.
What do we recommend? Good parenting advice? Is it? Yeah. Sensible? Logical, rational. The manosphere, ironically, despite all their arguments to the contrary, are the biggest case study that I have found yet as an argument against men being more rational than women. It's just ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous. I'm not saying women are more rational than men either. I think
it's sad that these are the people that are, you know, that are getting interviewed, not the average person, the fucking rich person that doesn't know a thing about shit, you know?
It's a ridiculous conversation argument. I think men and women probably think differently. I don't think one is inferior to the other.
Yeah.
I think both methods and ways of seeing the world and approaching things are valuable and useful.
You can't compare. It's practically laughable to compare one person to another. I would say, well, here, let's get my first argument out of the way first. I would say it's laughable because two people are going to have vastly different lives. They're going to have vastly different lives. Have vastly different kind of interaction with people in different places, you know, even in the same fucking town. Now, if you have two people grow up in a lab, right? If they're in a lab, eat the same shit, do the same shit every day, man and woman, they're still going to be different, vastly different, in comparison to my first example, but they're still going to be vastly different. Because they're going to think different things. One may think, oh, I don't want to be here anymore, or that kind of thing.
I think
they may like the food more than others, or whatever.
If you know, I've said this in the past before, I think if you're going to argue that women are kind of more sensitive or more emotional, whatever it happens to be, then I think we can clearly see that, okay, well, can we say that men...
Thank you for joining my live.
Act irrationally. If you're going to say women act irrationally because of emotions, men act irrationally when temptation or sex or... I
wouldn't even put in that qualifier. I would just say people act irrationally in general. If you're not familiar with a certain situation, you know, if you don't encounter something on the regular, you're gonna react differently, you know. So everyone acts irrational until they get used to something.
Like making a reckless choice or anger comes into it. They seem to be easily swayed by those kinds of feelings or desires or impulses or emotions. So I think it's just kind of different downfalls and vices for each sex. I mean, so Justin is also famous for saying, quote, "I won't simp for my daughters." which is a very normal.
I again, Justin a pedo. Well, no, he wouldn't be a pedo because he won't simp for them. But simping is very much romantic, lustful, I would say, right? Or why would you say it like that?
Normal, well-adjusted thing to say.
I'm not going to simp for my daughters. I'll love them fully.
I'm glad you're not a pedo or incestual, Justin Waller. I'm glad. You know?
But if they grow up and turn into a person that doesn't want to get in line with me,
Thanks for the two of you for joining. Fuck. Okay.
or at least, look, here's my goal as a parent: teach my children how the world works, give them the skills so they can live on their own terms, and give them choice. If they choose not to make me part of their life after I've given them those things, I've still succeeded as a father.
But I guess I'm asking.
Wait, let's hear.
Children how the world works, give them the skills so they can live on their own terms, and give them choice. If they choose not to make me part of their life after I've given them those things, I've still succeeded as a father.
You know, giving your children the skill to succeed and teaching them how the world works. Those are good goals, but I don't believe any of that. For one, because you say the stuff you do, that women suck and just men always cheat. You know, women are overly emotional. So I think you would teach them the wrong things. I don't.
Father.
But I guess I'm asking if you're comfortable answering, obviously. But are you wanting to be a role model?
Again, I don't. What does she do?
Model for your kids? Is that part of
1,000%. A father.
Can I have this woman's job? Just sit there and look into space. That'd be nice. Get paid to just sit there and look pretty, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but maybe she has tons of conversation, but it looks like she's not really invited to this roundtable event.
Father should show up in every way for his children. I think I'll be better than most fathers, regardless.
Seriously, she's just like, oh, I like this hat. What does she do?
How many children I have? I might have 100.
But you think part of being a role model, it's okay for
What?
your kids? Is that part of
1,000%. A father should show up in every way for his children. I think I'll be better than most fathers, regardless of how many children I have. I might have 100.
How are you gonna? For one, how do you? Jesus Christ! You're gonna have how many women are you gonna have give birth? Jesus Christ!
But you think part of being a role model, it's okay for your kids not to know even your relationship status with their own mom?
They will know the relationship status with me and their mother.
But you have other relationships with other women too.
What does that have to do with anything?
But I'm just wondering if you
Because it's about the children.
think
I
that's
haven't
a
even
problem.
said that. I'm just saying, like, if I want to, I will.
But you don't think that's a problem for your daughter to know that about their dad?
Well, assuming the woman would just agree to this, right? Oh, I will do this. You can't stop me.
That he has multiple mistresses.
That's up to my daughter, man. You know,
But do you want your daughter to have a guy like that long term?
if he takes care of her in every way and she has a much better life because of it, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Imagine being so afraid to give your heart to any female in case she hurts you that you can't even devote yourself fully to your own child because you can't allow.
And bust down the forehead.
Females of any kind to have any sort of emotional power over you. I'll reject my daughters and pretend I don't care what they think before they can reject me and make me feel like a bad father.
Waller just really emotionally stunted is awful.
Brave. Do I have to point out how weak this is? Such a fundamentally insecure character flaw. I'll speak in the language that red pillars understand, seeing as how you misuse evolutionary biology to justify your bad behaviors. So here goes. I'll use evolutionary biology and come up with a just so story. Do you guys honestly think that kind of behavior and attitude is attractive to a well-adjusted woman? Women, I'm going to say it again. Women, women, the gender more sexually discriminating because we carry the cost, dangers, and time investment for offspring, and from an evolutionary perspective, required paternal investment to give our children the best chance of survival and success. We know this. You guys talk about evolutionary biology all the time. I don't know why you can't understand if you.
Although, to be fair, there are a lot of poor women that make poor Joseph characters, like people who like women who like Justin Waller. In any way,
if you're going to use that argument from an evolutionary perspective, if a woman's going to be incredibly vulnerable for 9 months, then she needs to be sure, and not just 9 months.
I mean, the sex is an incredibly vulnerable thing. And people just have sex on the reg with random fucking strangers. I don't know. I wouldn't have, for one, all the diseases that could be possible. And number two, imagine, like, I don't know how people do this. Like, imagine being fucking, like, you're both naked together. Anything could happen. That's when you're at your most vulnerable. I don't know how you can do it with someone you met, like, fucking 10 minutes ago, That's fucking crazy. That person could kill you or any number of things, You just don't know. I don't know why people, men and women, give it up so easily.
It's also for when there's a newborn baby and then
because they're horny. But I don't know. We need to teach people better. That's what I'm
child and infancy. Like in the wild, if you're gonna keep talking about this, if she's gonna be so vulnerable during that stage, and then when she has an infant, and then when she has young children, surely she's gonna be attracted to the men who are more likely to stick around and help provide and help look after her when she's incredibly vulnerable, and even more unable to defend herself if she's heavily pregnant and all the rest of it, and got an infant, and like all these it's just. How can you talk so much about evolutionary biology to justify and talk about what that means women are attracted to, and so rarely talk about that? And I know there's that whole dual mating strategy that Rollo bangs on about, which, as far as I'm concerned, which I saw that debate that he did with Destiny, which
crap. Computer.
Terrible on his part, and apparently haven't the people who came up with that said that there's no evidence for that from an evolutionary point of view anyway. The whole dual mating strategy they come up with, isn't that proven to be kind of bollocks now?
Dual mating, I don't know what that is.
But Rollo keeps banging on about
dual mating. We're gonna look it up. How do you spell dual? Okay. Dual mating strategy. It's a real thing. Okay. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Scholarly articles for dual mating strategy. Ovulation, sex hormones, women mating. Okay, this is just different links. The dual mating strategy hypothesis of ovulatory shifts in mating psychologically proposes that heterosexual women show stronger preferences to uncommitted sexual relationships, with men displaying putative cues of reproduction fitness. This is okay. We're going to go down here. The good genes dual mating strategy posits infidelity allows women to pair the preferred genes of preferred genes of an affair partner with the preferred investments of their primary partner. So basically, you give birth to the guy that looks better, but you have the guy who's financially better actually be with them. Is that how that works? So 3 people in the relationship, right? What? Well, you can't have everything. Fucking God. It's fucking stupid. You know? Thorin Hill in 1998. Okay, that's stupid. Well, that's what it is, apparently.
About it and saying that the guys who've now just said that the guys who originally came up with the theory have gone, no, we don't think that's got any scientific weight anymore. He won't let go of it because his whole career is based on that thing. The thing that, like, and then you say that women, again with the logic thing, the thing about women not being scientific, because apparently we base what we believe off our feelings.
Why can't women be scientific? I don't understand it. They're female scientists. What about the inherent biology of women secludes them from being scientific? Nothing.
Feelings when all I see is you guys doing that for what you want to believe. And okay, and you know, you think that as a man admitting that those children, you know, the children that we would require paternal investment for and all the rest of it, what I just said, you think as a man admitting that those children can, again, quote, kick rocks.
Dog can be scientific. Dog know what up and down is. They know what motion is. They know a certain level of science. They wouldn't describe it as we describe it, but they would know what it is.
Because you want to put your pleasure before our offspring and have your investment, time, and resources divided between multiple women and children.
And be the hero. Again, not actually raise them day to day. Just come in every once in a while, be like, hey, yo, I'm the good guy. Look at all this shit that I bought you.
Is going to impress us? Who's going to take that choice? Who's going for that? Who's going for that deal? I would say that would put most of us off. Why would we trust you with our offspring, you know, with the continuation of our genetic material, if you are so reckless and selfish? That doesn't make any.
If anything, Justin Waller would be in the doom mating strategy. If anything, Justin Waller would be the one would be the mate with the financial part, and then the other one would actually have the emotions and shit.
Any sense?
They got all these single women out here talking shit about shit, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up?
You sound like a bad father. Why would women want kids with you?
Yeah, why would you just have babies with random fucking women? I gotta go. I'll be back in a second.
Imagine being a parent and saying that you don't care what your kids will think of you when they grow up. Why don't you care?
That's what you hear about these. These OnlyFans models. You know, their kids making fun of the other kid making fun of them because, you know, their mom sells her pussy to make money, you know? That stuff had been happening.
Why don't you care?
Consequences of their actions.
That doesn't sound as cool as you think it does. I don't care what they think of me. I'll do what I want because I'm a sulky bad boy written by E.L. James.
You should care what they think because you're the first point of contact they get with other people and how other people are going to act around them. So you should care what they think about you.
I live my life unapologetically on my terms. So if my daughters that are overly
Seriously, does she not say, what the fuck does she do?
spoiled and educated in every way and have friends all over the world and world traveled in the best schools in the world, if they have a problem with me at the end of the day, then they can kick rocks too.
I'm used to getting my own way.
Oh yes, a notoriously good parenting style that has never had any negative effects on anyone ever. Being super wealthy, neglecting your kids emotionally, but spoiling them financially by just throwing money at the problem. Jesus Christ. This is such a universally known terrible parenting style that it's an actual trope at this point. The poor little rich kid riddled with issues because daddy didn't love them enough. I mean, I can actually speak to this because I knew some of those kids, okay? Oh my goodness. You don't have to know some of those kids to just know that just objectively sounds terrible. But also, I've got anecdotal, experience with seeing how that turns out. I mean, it's terrible. I think it's fairly clear at this point that, just a bit of care and attention and devotion from a father is genuinely worth more than its weight in gold. Literally worth more than monetary, than throwing money at it.
It is. You wouldn't if my mom just gave me money and didn't really talk to me, I would not love her like I do. She can't be there for me physically, but she tried to be there for me emotionally and all this stuff. She cares about me. If she just threw money at the problem, I wouldn't care if she texted me or not, you know?
For psychological well-being, for just everything in your life, probably. It's better to have a father who's invested and cares about you.
My grandma. If she didn't...
And it gives you attention, love, guidance, discipline, respect, all of those things. And his presence, that's better than money. That's not a father. What are you talking about? What? Justin Warner genuinely sounds like a misandrist. Money is not a sufficient substitute for emotional investment, guidance, and love.
You know, British people say misogynist, a misandrist. I should say it like that. Misandrist now. That's how I'm saying it. Misandrist.
And how disrespectful, by the way, to suggest that ordinary hardworking men who actually invest time and care into their families just aren't as awesome as you are.
I just think it's cool. I just respect my dad a lot for having the option to do what he does and still choosing to remain loyal to my mom. And I know the red pill will say forever, oh, he's cheating. But I don't know. My dad is just, I respect him a lot. And I think it's really cool that he does that.
I think there's a good chance that there's
Oh, okay. Some agrees on with Pearl.
a relationship that
Let's see what Justin says.
I respect him a lot, and I think it's really cool that he does that.
I think there's a good chance that there's a relationship that your mother and your father have between them that you'll never know about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's cheating, but if he did cheat, he's a damn good man.
See, he's trying to convince Pearl that his dad is cheating. He can't handle anyone disagreeing with him, you know? Jesus Christ.
From hiding it from all of you so he can continue to paint that picture of reality. Now, me.
He cheating. This is not better. He doing the same thing I'm doing. He have to do it. Oh my God.
I'm not going to do that because I would rather live in truth.
Mhm.
Listen, Pearl, I know your dad sacrifices a lot, but I to live my truth, and that's deep inside as many women as I can find, I listen, if you a pencil sharpener, if it had a skirt on, I'd be deep in it right now. So actually, I'm surprised I'm not having sex right now, you know? I wish I could clone myself so I could have sex when I'm not having sex. Because that's just my truth.
Maybe that zeitgeist,
Mhm.
that group of men in that age range,
Mhm.
that was their strategy.
Mm.
Now that we're in 2022,
Mhm.
the strategy
Me too. Now he went from your dad is definitely cheating. He's not good. But that's okay. From now to maybe that would then. Now you have to cheat. What changed? You're like 38. You're 38, Justin. Okay? What? You would be in that older generation.
I think that it makes you the best man, shows the most character, is to just tell the truth.
I trust you.
He's literally saying that Pearl's dad is cheating on him and not telling the truth. Oh my fucking god. And Pearl's a fucking idiot, doesn't realize that's what he's saying.
Don't.
Basically saying, no, your dad's a scumbag and he's cheating on your mom, but not telling you. But I'm the good guy because I would tell my wife every time. I would call her on the phone and let her listen to the moaning of all the women that I'm fucking. That's what Justin says.
But
Well,
I just don't like the argument that like
Okay.
because
it's
it
like
doesn't feel good to you.
no, it's not that it doesn't feel good. It's that you'll believe what you believe regardless of any evidence to the contrary. So if the evidence says that 1 out of 4 men
Okay, never mind. I was wrong about Pearl.
cheat, you'll say, oh, they all cheat.
I would
It's like,
argue,
and it's like, if I say, no, my dad doesn't cheat, he doesn't do that, you say, well, he probably has an arrangement with your mom behind the scenes. Because that's your
I'm not saying
worldview.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a chance.
Okay.
You
I'm saying there's a
just
chance.
implied that, which is
Sure.
fine. Like, I
Okay,
understand that's your
I see you, Pearl. I see you. Okay, I like the pushback.
Yeah.
worldview. But I just grew up around, like,
I
would
wouldn't say it's fine. I would take that as a slight against me and my whole entire childhood.
like the men of value versus high value men, which is just like the type of men that kind of get their money, get their woman, go buy a piece of land and don't want to talk to anybody. And it's just a very different like world than the like one that you guys live in. And that's partially what brought me into the red pill, because I was like, this is what you think high value men are like.
Right. And that's
Yeah,
kind of what I'm
yeah.
arguing.
Yeah.
Because you're putting certain life choices
Mhm.
with value as a person. And I'm simply saying what created value in his time and certainly in your life, because obviously you've
My
turned out.
God, I would love to talk to Justin Waller. He'll do fucking great. Oh, I need this. People make it happen. Who am I talking about?
Very, very well.
Mhm.
Him being valuable in that time and him having that good impact on you is incredible.
Is he losing his hairline?
I'm just simply arguing that
I'm simply arguing that my dick need to be ride by all the pussies in the world, except the ugly ones.
a man that in 2022 that tells the truth,
Mhm.
takes care of his business,
Yet, again, he is asserting that every man cheats, but he is the good one because he tells people. He thinks there's no man that just is loyal,
takes care of his family, shows up for his wife in the most important ways, providing, truly loving her, making sure that her life is a fucking carpet ride, and then loving the fuck out of the kids and supporting and doing the right thing that a
And
man
loving
should.
the fuck out of that 19-year-old innocent woman as your programmer and fuck her right into the bed, right? Hell, you're doing it on pictures of your kids. Well, FaceTiming your wife, Hell, when the kids go to school, you're like, I'm gonna fuck your teacher tonight. That's what you
should do
Mhm.
because a man does have the burden of performance.
Mhm.
And I put that burden of performance
That's what happens. That's Justin Waller's worldview.
right there in the loyalty spot,
Mhm.
in the turning up for your family. That is a good man.
Mhm.
Not whether you had sex with another woman or whatever. It's
Mhm.
the deceit that hurts so badly.
So it's the not telling people the wrong thing, not the doing the action is the wrong thing. My fucking God.
And the reason that women are unhappy is
Listen, you, viewer, if you're a man or a woman, I don't care. It's if a man cheats on you, listen, not the fact that they're cheating. It's only the fact that they're not telling you. See? You're a dumb bitch, you know? Allow that man to cheat. No!
because the formula for happiness is the gap between expectation and reality.
Yeah.
Your father gave that to your mother.
The reality is this.
Mhm.
That's what made him a good man.
Mhm.
For me, I would rather not lie because the world has
I'd rather be. Again, I don't. He just like, your dad is cheating. Your dad is cheating. Your dad is cheating. Listen to me. Your dad is fucking cheating. You're not. He's not better than me. I'm better than him. He'd like that. He'd probably like that on the inside. That's exactly how he is. Your dad is not better, man, because he doesn't. My fucking God.
changed
Sorry,
since your father was a father and from when I will be a father. So I'm going to be brave enough, bold enough to love. And
Anyway, I gotta do my workout, go sleep, like, subscribe, and comment. Do all the YouTube stuff. Thank you to this one viewer. Bye.